We are in week 2 of my 90-day business growth challenge, and it's really good to see you today. So today's tips and strategies are something that's close to my heart. So if you follow me closely, you'll know that this week I got certified as a Meta Certified Creative Strategy Professional, which is a real mouthful, but I'm really pleased with myself. It's the first exam I've done in about 20 years. I love learning, and I've done lots of Facebook advertising for my own brand in the past, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to share this today with you. So it's something I'm really passionate about because it's one of those things that you can get really lost in the weeds with. It's a really tricky thing to get your head around when you get into Ads Manager and try and do your own campaign. And it's something that a lot of clients come back to me and they say, you know, what on earth am I supposed to be doing in here? What's all this jargon? So I really wanted today's session to help you with that. So today we're going to be talking top paid ad strategies for Meta and LinkedIn. And we're going to look at targeting, optimization and social proof, and using those things to help your campaigns really work. So I'm going to try this thing on the Instagram, which is, sorry if you can hear builders in the background, we have actually got builders in. So hopefully you can see me and then you can see that. But that's what we're going to be sharing today. So let's see, if you're a marketer or a business owner and you've tried paid ads, but you can't seem to get them working, or you've just not got the insider knowledge of how it all works, then this training is for you, my friend. The builders just started when we started the live, which I love, but you'll appreciate that, I'm sure. You'll be patient with me. So my name is Rachel from Only the Kind, and I'm a Meta Certified Creative Strategy Professional, which sounds like a real mouthful, but that means that I've done lots of training in Meta ads and how they work, in how to use creative effectively within the ad system in Meta. Anyway, my background is in PR, majoritively, and I've been working with big and small brands for 24 years. So today we're going to geek out. I'm a bit of a geek when it becomes all about paid ads and advertising. And if you're really keen to get these tips so you can refer back to them, I'm actually going to do them in written form for you. You just have to stay until the end of the live, and then I'll give you the way to do that. So don't miss your chance to snaffle the tips for your records. So let's get into the top 5 strategies. Now, as you can see, hopefully on the screen, strategy number 1 is AI-driven audience targeting. There's your jargon for you. Everyone's talking about AI at the moment. What does that even mean for your ads campaigns? And if you've been setting up campaign manually, or you might have even been just boosting posts, you can really use AI in a really good way. So we're going to just break that down for you in this top tip. So one of the biggest trends we're seeing at the moment is the growth of AI-driven audience targeting. And what does that even mean or look like? Basically, both Meta and LinkedIn are making it easier for advertisers to find the right audiences without spending too much time manually tweaking settings. So in the past 5 years, I've spent thousands of pounds on Facebook and Instagram ads, and also on LinkedIn. And what happens is you get your agency or your freelancer to help you. So that's what I do for clients. And what they have to do is a lot of manual going into the ad account, double checking on things like frequency, double checking which ads are performing well, double checking which ads are not performing well, which ads are tanking, and really kind of doing a lot of manual work around behind the scenes. So if you're wondering what all that cost is, that's the manual work of understanding Facebook and LinkedIn and the audience targeting settings as they are. Now, the fact that we've got things like advantage placements in Meta is great, but it's something I'm still testing. So Facebook would recommend that, or Meta would recommend that you do your audience settings within that. What's actually happening, I find, is that it goes too broad. So especially if you've got a really refined target audience, which I'm hoping you do, because we all know a niche is a really good thing, then if you've got your audience is too broad and Facebook's just allowed to spend all your money, then it will do. So that's something just to be really frequent of. So I'm still testing these tools, and I do like to give some guardrails for Facebook and Instagram. So here's a top tip for you guys, or just to help manage those campaigns is use audience insights to have a good nosy at what audiences you might potentially target. And creating a saved audience in Facebook audiences really helps you to refine interests, behaviours and other brands and audiences your targets might already be following. So that is my top tip for that. But also do test things like Advantage Plus and matched audiences in LinkedIn. So yeah, any questions on that? It's a bit complicated, but I feel like I've tried to explain, what's available to you right now. So that's strategy number 1. So strategy number 2 is really close to my heart. So social proof is everything from testimonials and reviews. So you'll see lots of people doing testimonials for different brands. So you might see for a beauty brand, there might be their core target audience, they might have asked them to do a video for them, and they'll really use that in their ads to sell the story, really. And social proofs and PR is media mentions and things like that. So it's just really using what you've got your customers talking about to sell, instead of you talking about yourself. So social proof is something that I have seen convert ads a lot faster than just brands saying how great they are. So everything from 5-star reviews to really honest feedback Q&A sessions with customers, and using those in your ads. So just remember to include anything, if you've been in the media as well, if you've been featured in the media or in key target media for your industry, that you know that your audience reads and trusts. It's all about building trust. Then make sure you use those media logos, those media mentions. For example, a beauty brand I worked with a while back got featured in Grazia, and that really helped the advertising go not viral, but got really good conversion rates. So it's basically use social proof, PR and reviews for faster conversion rates. That means less budget spent, so much more optimized ads. Use social proof, and that's something you don't get many ads managers talking about. LinkedIn's exactly the same, by the way, especially with B2B audiences. Make sure you're sharing case studies, awards, client testimonials. People on LinkedIn are often decision makers, so seeing a testimonial from a company they respect can push them closer to conversion faster. So it makes your whole sales process faster, which we like. Social proof is basically amazing for conversion rates. Strategy 3 is all about personalisation. If you get an email that's to your name and it talks about your problems, your pain points, you're much more likely to engage with that brand. So email's one way that you can use personalisation really quite straightforwardly. And with your ad strategy, personalised messaging and using creative optimisation. So it's quite an interesting exploration into human behaviour, because we're all different. But the really clever thing about Facebook is that there's a feature called dynamic ads, which actually lets you personalise ad creative to fit different audiences and what they like to consume. So absolutely use the dynamic ads capability, because it will help you get your message to your audience in the way that they like to hear it. And that's why actually you need lots of different ad creatives. So if your agency or your freelancer is coming to you and saying, actually we need more than 10 creative types, and you're kind of freaking out with how much that's going to cost. It doesn't have to cost a lot, by the way. Then that's the reason why, because they need to feed the algorithm in Meta and LinkedIn, specifically Meta, with lots of different types of content, because what they're aiming to do is to then test that content and get the best possible results for you. This is all about custom and lookalike audiences on Meta and matched audiences on LinkedIn. Sorry, it's a bit more jargon, but basically what it means in a nutshell is custom audiences will target the people that you already deal with. So they are people who are visiting your website, who are already customers. They might be on a customer list, so you can actually upload email lists into Meta and LinkedIn, and that will retarget your current customers. Obviously that's all GDPR compliant, everything's hashed, so you don't need to worry about that. And then lookalike audiences is a really clever feature. So if you've got your first, 1,000 customers, and you want to target people that look a bit like them, they might be women between 35 and 65, they might be into a certain magazine or a certain brand, they might look and do the same thing, so like their behaviours, interests, demographics will be similar. And so on Facebook, specifically Meta, and on LinkedIn, you can actually match people that look like those people. So it might be me, for example, so 35 to, 35, no, a bit older than that, but it'll match people that look a bit like your current customers. You can do different percentages to make the audience broader or smaller. So it's a really clever feature, and definitely all the e-commerce companies are using that. And then sometimes you'll get an ad and you're like, well, how do they know that I like that kind of thing? Well, that's probably how, because they're matching you to different other people's behaviours. And so, yeah, that's just the jargon on Meta. Custom is your current customers. Lookalike is people that look like your current customers. And you can also do lookalikes by value as well. So that's a really good tool to use if you want to make the most of your budget, because you're only getting people that are likely to spend on your business. And then matched audiences just means the same thing, but it's for LinkedIn. So definitely be using and segmenting your customer lists and lookalikes according to that. It's really clever when you get into it. So that's strategy 4. So I hope you're enjoying this. Give us a comment, send some love, all good. So what do we have now? We have, God, there's so much jargon today, I'm really sorry. But if you want it breaking down, just let me know. Or if you want me to do this for you, let me know, because I just love implementing funnels and all sorts of jargony things. So we are going on to strategy 5, which is automated bidding and budget optimization. I mean, who doesn't want budget optimization? Surely that's everyone's dream as a marketer or a business owner. You want the best budget. So both Meta and LinkedIn offer really good tools that can automate most of the budget management process, and that really helps you get the best results for your spend. So on Meta, it's all an auction. You can use automated bidding strategies like cost cap or target costs. So often because you don't want it to go off and spend all your budget in one day, for example. So you can use this feature just to look at your profit margins, look at what you can actually spend on ads, and just make sure you've got that in your campaign when you're setting it up. So you can do like a cost cap or a target cost, and then that allows Meta to automatically adjust your bids, because you're basically bidding against all the other advertisers for the space, and that maximizes conversions while keeping your costs within your budget. You can do something very similar on LinkedIn. It's called objective-based bidding, and it just means you can set your campaign to optimize for specific budget goals. So whether you're looking at lead gen or clicks or conversions, you can kind of specify to LinkedIn, and that's really what you're trying to give those algorithms as much data about what you want as possible. So they're there to be used and to really help you, find new audiences or retarget your current audience. But you really have to give them the information in the first place to do that. So, quick tip for both platforms, I recommend always starting with a smaller budget and letting the algorithm optimize it for you. So once you've gathered some data, and data is really important, we haven't even gone into that, but things like your pixel on your website, making sure you've got those pixels installed on your website before you start advertising. That means you're gathering data about what people are going to do, and that means that the algorithms can actually give the best results. So the more data you have, the better. And you're going to have to spend at least $2,000 to get starting to get that data from your website, but don't spend anything until you've got your pixels set up. I can always help with that as well. So just to recap on today's event, I think that's it. So just to recap, we've covered 5 key strategies today. I know it's been a bit of a garbled lot of jargon, but I'm hoping that they will be useful for you. And I did promise those who stay on till the end that I would be sharing this personally to you if you want the written script. So if you just comment ready on this live, I will whiz that through to you on a direct message. And if anyone's got any questions, please feel free to email me, rachel@onlythekind.com, or you can go onto my website, onlythekind.com, and book a call in, and we can talk about what you're doing, what you're not doing, meta ads and PR. So today we've just covered 5 strategies: AI-driven audiences and targeting, so Advantage Plus and matched audiences, and then using social proof and PR to drive faster conversions. That's really important. So sometimes I'll take on a client project and get the PR first and then implement the meta. strategy because I know that that's going to convert the ads faster, which is what we all want. Don't forget to personalise messaging and use things like dynamic ads on Facebook. It's really good and it works. Sometimes it does go off piste a bit, so make sure your creative still looks good. Just make sure you're checking everything, because sometimes it just goes off on one and does some awful text. It's really quite painful if you've got a design-led aesthetic. And then using custom audiences, so making sure your pixels there, adding in your customer lists, that is a really great strategy. And then doing lookalikes of your current customers will really help make sure you're making the most of your marketing dollar. And then using that automated bidding and budget optimization tool, which is just literally click boxes, and you can add in, cost per conversion, for example, like your target cost for a conversion. Obviously, we all want them for 1p, but that's not always relevant when you're doing your ad strategy. So remember, combining these strategies with well-placed social proof will help you gain trust and convert faster. It's something I've worked on over the last 5 or 6 years, and I've seen it implemented, and it can really change your business. So it's an amazing way to target new customers, but it's also a brilliant way to re-engage former customers and keep your current customers motivated. So if you're not using Meta and LinkedIn as part of your current marketing strategy, you're really not making the most out of what you could be. I think I shared a post the other day, and it was, in the UK we check our phones 88 times every single day. In the US it's about 154 times. So just that alone, we know that we're on these channels, we're using them, we're engaging with content. Content's really important. We all want really good content to consume, but just make sure as a brand that you're using that time that people are spending on their phones to make sure you're targeting amazing people with what your amazing offers are. So thanks everyone for joining me today. I encourage you to try these strategies in your next campaigns, especially if you're looking to grow, and just get in touch. Let me know how you found this video, and if you're on podcast, then hope you enjoyed this content, and I will look forward to seeing you really soon.